All right, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall is blessing your day. By His mercies you are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall's body. And two, we're naturally alive, man. And yeah, man, like, it's another thing, too. Yeah, for this very moment, being alive, the Most High in your house shall's body. And two, just be naturally alive as well, man. And also, too, man, like, I want to get into this me today because this is kind of the theme for the spirit or the theme for me this week, man. Like, what I experienced this week. And, man, this goes for me as well, man, too. Like, because, let's get this too, because our actions affect other people, man, honestly. Like, so let's grab this, man. And that's why it says consider one another, man, because, you know what? There's plenty of examples we can give, but, I just want to get into this, man, because our actions affect other people, man. But, like, throughout the word, like, because, but yeah, because there is a lot of examples that, but, it says Hebrews chapter 10 verse 24. It says, "Let us consider one another and provoke unto love and good works." And that good works is the ultimate work of faith, and also too works like help building each other up in the faith. Alms, not only just physical, like things like spirit building each other up in the faith. Alms, lodging the stranger and feeding the homeless, the helping the sick, the orphans, the widows, all these the things that you could think of that too. But those probably good works as well. But ultimately too, man, is be considerate in one, but brother and sister love, the godly love that we give to one another. But also too, man, like because this was all prevalent throughout the week, man. Because there's no situation actually happened yesterday and today, personally. But but even that aside too, man. Because this it started off really. I was remember talking to my homie, man, with the Eagles game, with the whole Jalen Carter spinning on that Dak Prescott situation. Y'all seen the Eagles and Cowboys game, the NFL season opener for the for this upcoming season, man, on Thursday night. So, and like the Devin McCourty, for the former Patriots safety said, he's going to how selfish and like how his actions, because that set the tone for the game that whole night, man. But and that's the most disrespectful thing you could do to somebody, honestly. Yeah, to be honest with you, man. Like there's a lot on that list, but yeah, that's definitely on there, man. But and that just goes to show you how type of man Yahushua was, man, because that's why that Romans 5 says that, but that's another story for another day, because he was spit on and died the worst human death ever. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, that just is what it is right there, man. So, yeah, but that set the tone for the whole night for the team, man. We nearly lost, man. It just kind of, you could see the spirit and the momentum shift and the energy on the team, because they kind of shifted. But that's just is what it is. And I was telling my homie that, man. He was like, yeah, man, exactly, man. So, whether Dak spit at him or did something at first or not, still, man, that's actually Jalen Hurts said it best, man. Discipline and self-control, man. That's is what it is. Actually, the word goes into that. That's why a lot of times too, this word is so important, because this is just. I remember the brother Judah McIntyre, the elder brother, said this. He said, man, even if you don't believe or not believe in this word, man, this stuff is really honestly good advice. Honestly, if you even listen, somebody believes in it or not, man, this is just good advice. This is a good game, honestly, the word that the Most High Yahushua gives, honestly. But I pray that all of our people hearken to it, but that's not going to be the case. But anyway, man, but that's up to the Most High Yahushua. But anyway, yeah, man, your actions affect other people, man. It's not always, like we kind of always say, it's not always about me, man. It's not always about me. It's not always about you, man. It's not always about me, man. So that's just is what it is, man. So let's guard this in Galatians, man, because also too, man, our actions affect other people. Let's get this in Galatians, man. And I think too, let's get Galatians real quick. Galatians chapter 4 and verse I say Galatians 4 and verse 5, and I'm saying Galatians chapter 5 verse 9. A little leaven the whole lump. Exactly, man. So that's why a lot of times too, in the law, when it says if you had a disobedient child, son or daughter, they gotta get stoned. Because why? Why? Because the other children is gonna act that way. Even with Esther, you see that with Esther, with the queen, even though they was from another nation, but still, it's like, okay, if the queen's wife is doing this, I'm sorry, the king. If his wife is doing this, it's if his wife is doing this, then how else the other women you think are going to act? So that's just is what it is right there, man. So yeah, man. When we see that with Esther with the king's wife, you know, when he called her, like, to show off from amongst, like, no, at the feast, man. But she wouldn't come. So, yeah, man. That's just is what it is right there, man. So that goes, or even Cain, man, because Cain was a big reason why the flood even started, man. Because, like, let's get this Wisdom Psalm 10 real quick, man. You know. Wisdom Psalm in verse 10, verse 3, it says, "But when the unrighteous went away and perished, went away from her in his anger," it's talking about the spirit, when knowledge, was a understanding, which, Cain did. And in his anger, he perished also in the fury wherewith he murdered his brother, who for whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood, wisdom again preserved it and directed it in the course of righteousness in a small piece of wood of in a piece of wood of small value. Exactly, man. So it's talking about Cain, how he killed Abel, man. That how that, like, living the whole lump, man. Because then Genesis, let's go to Genesis 6 real quick. Because just like now, that's why it's the days of Noah now. Because then the Genesis 6 said the earth was filled with violence. Where do you think they got that from? And the first murder, like, with Cain, of course. So that's why Jude says, "Woe to them that go the way of Cain." But let's get Genesis chapter 6 verse 11. The earth was also corrupt before Yahweh, and the earth was filled with violence. Exactly. So that started with Cain. Exactly. So your actions affect other people as well, man. So this is what it is. But shout out, like the guy from the Vile Eye said. I forgot the guy's name. Edomite guy. I forgot his name, but I forgot his name. But he a good channel, man. He analyzes movie, TV, video game, anime villains, or from books and things of that nature. Or sometimes real people, man. But he said this too, and I'll concur with this. Even really, spiritually it's a different thing. Well, it can be, honestly, but it's really sometimes yeah. No, I will say this too, just for me, I speak as a man. The root of selfishness, the root of evil is really selfishness at the end of the day too. Well, in the beginning with Eve, that's different, like the brother that sent me first one said, because I remember asking him this in the class, but he says it's more of like, own lust and your own desires, or like, lust of the flesh. Honestly, that was really Eve, and we're no different because we're Eve, honestly. Like, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, but really on a natural tip, even like spiritually too, the really root of selfishness, evil is selfishness, honestly, if you will ask me. It's an amalgamation of things with a big recipe, but I think that is because your own self-will or self-desires and things. And now there's other things that can be in that factor. But I would agree with that, because he said the root of evil is selfishness. And I will concur with that, honestly. But that's neither here nor there, honestly. But yeah, because this too, and that's the thing is too, your actions affect other people. Because I was just watching the Dexter Resurrection season 1 finale last night, the last 2 episodes, man. But you know what? It was if y'all watch Dexter, y'all know the characters Dexter, and actually Batista, the character Batista, he was with Miami Metro working with Dexter, like, in the show, in the original Dexter, when Dexter was a blood splatter analysis, forensics, things of that nature. But the Batista was the detective and the cop as well. But he died the same way as, like, that Dokes died, and LaGuerta died, and things of that nature, and he died the same way. He says before he dies to Dexter, like, I died the same way they did. This is for the people that watch Dexter, pretty much. But and pretty much, man, sometimes, like, even though like, like Dexter didn't directly kill them, but his actions, him being the serial killer, like, within his code or not. Because, well, even in the show, Dexter has killed innocent people, but that's neither here nor there. His actions affected them, other people, because a lot of times too, they pretty much, when all those 3 died, many other people died by him, but all those people died by him, could die by his hands, pretty much, but because they found out who he actually was, and, like, they were trying to bring him to justice, give him his rightful judgment, like, honestly. But were trying to expose him, like, they died during the process. So it's too, certain people, like, they just, like, like, even the word says in Proverbs, because there's a saying in the world, of course, in life, in the world, that says, "Oh, trouble follows me." Like, trouble follows certain people. Like, and that's true, man. Because, like, that's why, yeah, that's why Proverbs even says, "Evil pursue a sinner," man. Because certain people, man, they got a certain spirit, or things about them, man, or like who they are, and they're a certain spirit, or like this bring a certain bad, like, spirit, and the things that they go place to place, and, like, everything just constantly goes bad around them, honestly, and it affects other people. It's like certain people that is that evil. It's like, yeah, but in the worst time, a lot of times too, like, those people don't even know it. Like, I think I was talking about this in the group the other day with you know with like, I'm in a group based off the Wire TV show, because I like movies and TV things of that nature. But I was in a group called the in group in the Wire online, and we were talking, but I was like, and I said this an example, because we was talking about something, but I was saying, yeah, I was like, man, certain people, they just bring like a certain energy, or certain energy to them, man. Like, things were constantly things catch on fire. Because, yeah, the thing was, we was talking about like how in the Wire, Randy's house caught on fire, and the character of Bunk on the Wire, he slept with Randy, like seasons before that, he slept with Randy's foster mother, things of that nature. He burnt his clothes in the house, and later on after season, like season 4, like Randy's house catch on fire. But I was saying the example pretty much that certain people, like, they certain spirit and a certain energy, man. They just, like, this is bad. It's just evil and things like that follows them, man. Because I'll use the example of Tony Soprano, man. I watched The Sopranos, man. Like, his horse he had, and it caught on fire. Like, the horse that he had, that he actually took from the character Ralphie. But then, like, later on, his concubine, pretty much, or his Gumar, as they called him with the, those Italians, this pretty much concubine. She caught on fire, man. But certain people are like that, man. They did this something about them. It's like evil, just like, you never know. Most house I might have cursed their line, but or maybe a lot of times it was not even that. Sometimes it's the hearts of man. Some people it's evil. Some people it's got an evil, or evil, like, energy about them, and it affects everybody, man. So that's is what it is. I'm sorry, y'all, for the two TV examples too much, but I just want to let that be known. But yeah, man. But certain things, man, like, your actions affect other people, man, because at the end of the day, man, because yeah, man. So let's grab but it's too, it's like, just like, the quote with what you call with Maya Angelou, like, when she said, we all heard it pretty much, or most people heard it. When people show you who you are, believe them. That's not always all for the evil, for the bad. That could be for the good as well. But also too, we actions can affect other people, and, like, in a righteous way as well. Because let's get this Sirach chapter 10 real quick, man. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Yeah, everything decently ordered. Like, as a judge of the people himself saw his officers. What manner of man? Yeah, what manner of? Yeah, exactly. I read this verse so many times, man. But notice what it says. What manner of man? Like, the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. Exactly. So, yeah, man, what manner of man, like, so that could be even for wicked or righteously, man, because, that's is what it is. Because, we remember talking about this. We did actually talk about this, talk about that a few years ago. We actually did a video on that, man, and it was kind of during the time I was working with the city, man, and now when we read it, man. So sometimes with certain even jobs or companies or organizations, man, like, even when things were the bad, like, you could tell, because it all starts at up top. It's like, okay, if the CEO, if the main supervisor or the director or managers like this, then it's going to trickle on down. It's trickle down effect. But that could be even for the good. It's like, dang, okay, cool. Like, certain times you have anomalies. Like, okay, the top is bad, pretty bad, but they actually, like, the workers are, like, actually good. Like, they're actually kind of the ones that keep this engine going. Or sometimes you even have the guy, the people, the CEOs or site managers or directors are good up top, but these got bad employees. But still, at the end of the day, it still falls on them. Like, not the action, but it's like, okay, cool. We kind of gotta have kind of got to get rid of certain people. But this is what it is. Certain things happen like that. Even in sports, you see in sports world a lot of times too. There's certain times you have have an actual good coach, but the players just actually aren't doing at the end of the day playing up the par actually at the end of the day too, and that's why, and another thing too. No, I'm about to go on a whole nother thing about that, but that's why too. A lot of times too, you know when they get a lot of times too when the team loses in the pivotal game, like championship or the conference championship, whatever. Like they just fired the coach now, and this is more happening now in sports, or even during this time as well. But like me and my homie always says too as well, the players got to play as well. I mean, the coaches can only do so much, but then you got on the other side too, you got a bad coach, so sometimes the players just run the team. I remember watching an interview with Anquan Bolden. He said, man, a lot of times too, because the coaches do a lot, but a lot of times too, it's really the players. There you got that certain group of party or that certain player or that party of players that they're the leaders. I could tell Ray Lewis was the heartbeat of Baltimore Ravens. You could tell that, honestly. Brian Dawkins was like the heartbeat, well, especially the defense, but the heartbeat of that team with the Eagles during that time, during that era. So, you got certain players like that. They just, shoot, even in the 90s Cowboys, man, Michael Irvin really was that heartbeat of that team. So, even now, man, my Irvin's a funny dude, but, you could tell he was a heartbeat of that team. Yeah, other people as well as key on that. But yeah, certain times you had that, but that's neither here nor there. But that all goes to show you that your actions can affect people in a wicked way, in an evil way, but also in a good way as well. So yeah, man, so that's is what it is too. But that's why it says, let's read this Sirach chapter 10 again. Let's read chapter 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are they dwell therein. So yeah, what manner of man. So exactly, and that manner of man should have manners, man. It should be upright, integral, honor, faithful, because it says 2 Samuel, who that ruleth over a man must be just. Even the law says Moses was the most faithful outside all the house of Israel, and that's why even in the letters it says the steward shall be found faithful. We might actually talk about that. Because actually that was something that I wanted to go over with y'all, but we wanted to talk about, but not just me, because we. That's why I say we here a lot, because and the same. That's why I try to use we as much as we can, man. Because it's not just this ain't it's about me. I know this channel, it's small it is, whatever it is, what it is. If y'all brothers and sisters, faith being increased by this channel, I love it, man. That's all praise to Most High House, honestly, too. But it's bigger than this, just me, man. It's about us, man. It's we, honestly, here. But also, too, man, even a side note, man, also, too, let me just say this, too, as well. I really ignore them, delete them, but if it's kind of the trolling thing here or comments thing here, yeah, don't come here with that, man, because this is about the faith of the people being increased, man. It's not really about that, because I had a comment yesterday. Yeah, I get them every now and then, but, this I can see on the reels things of that nature, because a lot of people see it, but as far as videos and people, now it's different between questions we us brothers and sisters talking about the word. Well, sometimes I got I got our people on here. Sometimes I got heathen on here, or unbelievers, got believers and unbelievers on here. It's cool. That's all good. But yeah, that's something that don't come here with that, because it's not about that here. But yeah, honestly, man, that's just is what it is, though, man. Yeah, yeah, man, I just want to say that, man, because your actions affect other people at the end of the day, man. I know it's very long-winded, but I really wanted to go into that, man. We really wanted to go into that because, that's just is what it is. So, peace.